G'day guys, so we just arrived back in Sydney. I just wanted to make a quick video to at my surprise at the fuel consumption. It just moved to 8.2, but over 435 kilometres, it was at 8 litres per 100 kilometres. I'm impressed. Now, that might have a little bit to do that it's maybe you're not aware overseas, we have a double point system, so it is a long weekend. So on public holidays and stuff, it's double points. But yeah, it's sort of having that, and there are police everywhere. Sort of, you don't really sort of do the maneuvers that you'd normally do. I'm not saying that you're going to speed the whole way, absolutely not. But you just avoid putting your foot down. It was on cruise control most of the way, but as we know, it's not radar cruise. Oh, look at that lip wearing in there. Just like any German car, but you can see what that drive's done. I've done about 2,000 kilometres on that drive, but man, just a joy to drive. Normally I get fatigued, and look, for those of you not aware, I'm gonna digress. I set the intention to have just a good drive and a safe drive, and just an easy drive, and it's so weird. Like, I haven't really slept that well the last few nights whatsoever. I've had one cup of coffee today at 6 a.m. and I did not get fatigued. Yes, the seats were a little bit firm, but I've lost a bit of weight, and they didn't bother me as much as the video I made last year in this very same car going down there. So really, really nice to drive. On the highway, definitely sharper steering. It can be a bit of a bother sometimes if you get distracted and you're in a narrow sort of tunnel. Before you know it, you're about to smash into the wall. So, the steering it's very sharp, but the way the car behaves on the highway is different. It's quite different, and I know some people don't agree, but it's just a lot more comfortable. But bearing in mind, as we wear the tyres down, you're losing a bit of that sort of, that softness to the car. So the cat's eyes are now sort of slightly transferring through the structure of the car. When you hit the cat's eyes, the little orange or white things on the road. Obviously, when the tyres are new, they don't do that. So we've just arrived back, 8 litres per 100 kilometres, and I mean, the average speed. I don't know if it gives you, I don't think this car has that, but a lot of it was 110 on the way back, but I was getting well below that at 90. So at 80 and 90 k's an hour, the car was using 6.5. I was just shocked. I thought, the average is going to change as we drive, but it didn't. It went up because we were at 110, and I was squeezing it. Like, you're not really meant to sort of load it up in 6th gear, and I didn't a lot, but it's not like I wanted a lot of acceleration. So there were times that I was accelerating, I wasn't really down gearing as much as I should have. And bear in mind, that's with 2 children. Okay, they don't weigh that much, but they're both tanks for their age, and 2 bags, 2 full suitcases. I mean, unbelievable. I did reset it exactly as we filled, so it's quite accurate for that, and I've never really done that before. So guys, 8 litres per 100 kilometres driven on the freeway. Now, my tuner said with the previous generation I had tuned, it will use less fuel. Now, bearing in mind this car's heavier and uses more fuel, I don't know if you guys if I ever posted a video where I printed out the actual specs between the 2 generations. This car uses 1.2 litres more per 100 kilometres. That's a lot of petrol, okay? And that explains why in the city I'm not getting that 13.6 that I used to get, 13.8. It's always 14.8. So yeah, beautiful thing to drive, really safe and secure. Lots of idiots on the road. I'm so over seeing crash cars today. I mean, there's a particular stretch of road where I saw a car lose control last year, and right at that same spot, it had been raining, there was some shitbox flipped over. So I saw about 4 cars totally wrecked with police tape around them. And, considering the snow, the gravel, the high speed, the different types of bitumens, Absolutely beautiful. Here we go, double points. The cops are everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So, yeah, like, by the way, guys, down the snow, they're sitting in red Volvo, brand new Volvos now. Apparently they're getting BMWs soon as well. But you know, guys, I know you love this car, right? But have a look at it. It's not a small car. Look at the size of this car, man. You know, if you said to me, I mean, look at the length of the bonnet. I've always liked cars with long bonnets. Look at the length of that bonnet. Can you guys see that? You think I'd be over it, eh? But I love it. And, you know, considering all the different driving conditions and the fact that I've lost about 6 kilos. Now, I was never the biggest guy in the world, but I've definitely lost it here. People are telling me. So the Recaros didn't bother me, but last year they really, really did. Now I noticed if you adjust the seat up here, it's not that it's got an auto adjustment on the bolster, but if you put the seat down, the bolsters release a little. If you lift the front of the seat up, the bolsters tighten. I only discovered that this morning. But considering the seats, you know, it's not a Mercedes-Benz. They're not the most supportive seats. Considering the weight of the car, the fuel consumption, the performance in the snow, the ice, the gravel. This is the best car, guys. It's the best car at $100,000 year after year. Good on you, Subaru. Shame about your road ice warnings and stuff like that, but you know, amazing, absolutely amazing performance. Now, I met a few people that pulled me over. One guy recognised my voice and stuff like that. And, you know, the number one thing people say is it doesn't have enough power. Now, I know that. Today, like, you know, when you've got all the luggage in it and stuff, you're in the wrong gear when you're pulling out. Man, the car doesn't move. I mean, you're better off in a 4-cylinder Camry in automatic, kicking it down and taking off. But, of course, we know that. The car is known to punish you when you're in the wrong gear. So it keeps you on your toes. You've always got to be on your toes. Absolutely amazing. I'm not fatigued at all. In fact, it's just such a joy to drive. It's like I've done 435 Ks from when I reset it, but I've gone back up to Mount Kosciuszko this morning. I was up there last night. I was up there every day. We've done well over 2,000 Ks. I had 13,000 something. Maybe I shouldn't talk before I look at my videos, but I reckon I've done 2,000 Ks. I've put endless amounts of fuel in it. But considering the different conditions, I just am not fatigued in this car. You know, now I know I sound like a broken record, but yeah, more lift. And when you've got the luggage in the back, you can see it now. You know, just taking off down there before a set of lights, the whole front of the car lifted up. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen one of the less timely videos. There's a leaking rear shock on the left. It's not leaking at the point that it's going to cause the car to do that. So if anyone thinks it's the shock, it's not. This car's softer, but it's firmer. It's softer, but it's got less roll. It's probably the tyres and the rims holding it together. And you know, the weight of the steering with these wheels is perfect on the freeway. It's far less niggly than the other car. I was absolutely shocked, guys. I mean, remember, I've blown a tyre out the front, put the new tyre on the rear, put the rear tyre on the front. They're not matching tyres anymore, get it? Right? But the way the car sits straight on the highway, unbelievable. Unbelievable. The way this car sits straight is unbelievable. And when you turn in and change lanes at 110, 116, which really is 111 because they all exaggerate, you know, it's just razor sharp. Much more razor sharp, or significantly more than the previous model. Now, depending on what they bring out in 2020, I'd be buying one of these, guys. I mean, if they're going to start effing around with direct injection 2 litres with this thing, and, you know, the first generation's probably going to be plagued with problems. I mean, or we've all had, you know, you've got the issues with these cars. From new, they've got certain issues. We know that. You know, if this could be the last roaring STi. Now, I remember clearly in the silver one, I made a video that when I went down the snow, and, you know, running it on that sort of condition runs the car in, even at 10,000 Ks. Now, I had this not really like that. A lot less in 6th gear on the freeway, in 5th gear as well. This car's got the same thing. So, you know, you've got those mechanical noises, you've got the gearbox sort of whine, but if you do have like that, that's normal. It is normal. I've had it in both of them. Now, another thing, I put a picture on Facebook of the car on the gravel, and I said, very happy, don't worry about the rack rattle. And then in one of the comments, someone said something, and I said, oh, there's surely a fix for the rack rattle, right? Surely there's someone that does something with it. And then someone said, oh, yeah, I took mine in a Subaru for that, and they changed the rack. So guys, just remember, when choosing a Subaru dealer, you know, be very, very careful when you're going for warranty claims, because if you don't have the mechanics there on the day and the foremans, like Michael Cooper, who's opened his own place now, Subi Doctor, okay, you know what? Go to the guy that knows what he's doing first. And there's people that know a lot more about Subarus than me. One of them is Subi Doctor. Michael, you're a legend. You're a pleasure to know. But, you know, the rack rattle is a real concern. It's really not good. And this is exactly the condition that you get it in. Right now, if I take this car and gently, I'm not talking about driving hard. If you turn into a street and it's got bumps like that, which out of the city you do a lot, or if I now go here on these bumps and turn it, you're going to get this grrr, grrr under the car. You're going to think your tire ends are going to fall off. It's normal, guys. The last thing you want to do is go and have a rack and pinion, a steering rack replaced on this car for no reason. Like, you might think, oh, I'm getting a new steering rack, but no. The flares on the fittings are being tampered with. Everything's being tampered with. You do not want to change your steering rack if you're getting rack rattle. For those of you that don't hear it, good on you. And obviously you don't have the condition. Now, what I want to know is, does the WRX do it? I don't know. But now, have I been talking for 12 minutes? Wow. One more thing. I'm so excited. One more thing. I did not see one blue STi. So we saw Felix. Man, you're a legend. Nice to meet you. Saw his navy blue one. Saw a black one that I posted on Facebook down there as well. That might come up in the videos. They're all going to be posted now successively, finally, from my Wi-Fi, my cable internet at my place, fibre optic. The internet down at the motel wouldn't allow me to post videos as I went, so there might be a few videos. Maybe it's a bit confusing. Now, I did not see one blue STi, so the whole way back, one red STi was going to the snow, and there was a white WRX. I have a feeling that person might say Spotto on Facebook. I'm not sure, but he was giving his a little go, and we were sort of having a good time. You could clearly see the WRX was riding differently to the STi on the road. I mean, this thing, you can't even really change lanes. Like, it's just like a fighter jet. Like, you know, it's like he was changing lanes, and the car was sort of not rolling, but it was a smooth transition. When I change lanes here, as you change lanes and bring it back, you're always getting this type of thing. I can't swear, right? Because they F me up. I love this car. I love this car so much, guys. I love it so much. And, you know, will I be getting the next model? If I can afford it and it tantalises me that much, I'll buy the next model. But, you know, for now, I'll keep this dinosaur. And it is a dinosaur. You know, you get it now. I'm ready to go home, but you get in this car when you're tired, and man, you get in this car right now in the wrong mood with that luggage in it, and you're going to just be, oh my God. Also, I didn't get the best petrol, obviously. They called it Mobil Premium 98, but no detonation at all. It wasn't bad, but, you know, the car's obviously... The country, you know what the country tanks are like, they're full of crap. So the car's sort of, it's got this bit of a, it's had it the whole drive actually. It's sort of, I've got to speak to my tuner, it sort of dies out. It's got this flat spot that I never had before. It's sort of a bit of a flat spot at about 5,500 RPM. It just seems to be protecting itself from something. Then again, we can't hear all detonation. Anyway, that's me for now. We had a great time at the snow. You'll see some stuff. I might not post all the videos. A lot of them were cut short as the freezing weather would shut my stupid phone off. But otherwise, Google Pixel 2, so it shuts off at the beach in summer and it shuts off at 3 degrees as well. After about 1.5 minutes at 3 or 2 degrees with wind shear, which felt like -4, do not buy the Google Pixel, guys. Don't touch it. Great photos, but don't touch it. And yeah, you can see there's one video I made, and you know, you can see the car in a different mode on a different camera. But as we know, this car, it's sort of like people. You get it at the wrong angle. I mean, what's so good about that? You know, the white one that was behind me, it just looked terrible. You know, the 2016. But we know we love these cars, but they've got their angles, you know. So right now the car doesn't look so flattering, and you take it over here and it's an absolute weapon. You know, just before it looked like a platypus, now it looks like a shark. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a safe long weekend. Be safe on the roads. There's a lot of idiots out there, particularly in E-Class Mercedes, okay, and C63s, okay, Volkswagen Touarags. Stay away from them. Just let them pass you. And I did every time. You know, it's like they come past to prove something. Also, we had a lot of P-platers coming up in their Imprezas with the wing on it, like the Hawkeye ones, and revving it, and it just G's people up so much. But, you know, driving around with the white one, it was so special. I said to the kids, okay, we don't have a lot of Lancers here, but which other car do you have this sort of camaraderie in? No other car. So not only are you getting a WRX or an STi, they're both beautiful vehicles, but you're getting the whole camaraderie, making friends. Do it, guys. It'll change your life. Anyway, very, very safe and secure. Ever since I was a teenager, all I wanted was to be safe and secure in a car, feel rock solid on the road, and that's what it feels like. I'm sure if I got into a Porsche, it might not feel so rock solid, but for now, this is my Porsche, and there's a lot of change left over. So be well, and yeah, have a safe long weekend for those in Australia. Bye.